Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Sarah Vantine here with Ted Ings. Today, we're going to be talking about turning privacy into a dealership marketing advantage. Most car dealers see vehicle privacy as just another rule they have to follow, but Waverly Bird and Mary Marwig from Privacy4Cars are here to show us that the vehicle privacy is a new opportunity for dealerships since more and more customers are actively asking for privacy in their cars. And they're going to explain with us today how smart dealers are turning car data deletion services into their marketing advantage, Ted.
All right. So Waverly, welcome back. And Mary, welcome to the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Thanks for having me today.
Thanks, Ted.
All right. So, Mary, start us off. Tell us about Privacy for Cars.
For sure. So let me start with the problem that we solve. So, have you ever sat in a trade in or a loaner car or even a rental car and you turn it on and then someone else's contacts, text messages, and their call logs, maybe even their payment details, their credit card pops up? I think this is an experience that pretty much everyone's had at this point. And what we do is we give dealerships the tools and the processes to properly delete prior driver's data off of cars. And then in addition to that, we provide the marketing support so that dealers can turn data deletion services into a new selling point for their customers.
Exactly. So think about everything that makes your car convenient. Things like having your prior call logs, your text messages, your home address, your navigation history, garage door codes, and really so much more. Having this information plugged into your car makes it so incredibly convenient when you're in control of the car, but it does create a security risk when you're not. So that's why dealers are offering this data deletion service to their customers.
I think we can all relate. All right. So, Mary, what's changed? Why now? Why is this important now?
Yeah, that's a good question. And to piggyback on what Waverly just said, having all of these connected features in your car, having your personal data in your car is so convenient when you're in control of that car. But the moment you are not, it becomes a security risk. So dealers that leave customer personal data in the car, it's not just a poor customer experience for them, it's actually a personal risk for the customers themselves. I mean, Ted, Sarah, we hear every week there's some kind of data breach happening, and nobody wants to have the next data breach be from their car, which is why customers are now asking for this and why they are also willing to pay to have their personal data removed from cars.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, customer demand for this is up. In fact, SPD Automotive did a recent study that showed that 39% of buyers said that car privacy is more important than brand,
Wow.
body style, or even infotainment features. So this is a big change from zero just a few years ago.
This is incredible, Mary. So tell us, how does this data deletion service all work?
Yeah, so it's basically when a car comes into your dealership, whether it's a trade in car, a lease return, or even a loaner, all your staff needs to do is grab their phone, open up their dealership's version of the Privacy for Cars app, and then do three simple things. First, they need to scan the VIN of the car with the app. Second, they'll pick the exact system for that car that is shown to them on the app. And then third, once they do that, they'll follow the VIN specific step-by-step instructions to delete the data off of that car. And then once they're done doing those steps, we will issue a certificate of deletion, which is that third-party documentation that your customers are looking for to prove that the work was done and done properly.
Exactly, Mary. We make data deletion super simple. The staff can clear a car on average in about 90 seconds in most cases, following our very specific VIN processes. And typically, we see the reconditioning staff do this work, but anyone from the showroom floor to the body shop can use our app to process vehicles quickly and, most importantly, accurately. So they'll scan the car, select the system, simply follow the steps, and then we'll issue that certificate of deletion that is so important to the marketing of all of this.
So, as a follow up for both of you, Mary, you first. Don't dealerships already have a process for deleting the data?
Well, some might have a process, but my question back to them would be how confident are you in that process? Because there is no credit given for a half done deletion. You either do it or you don't. So it's got to be 100% right or it's not done. And that's why it's really important to have the VIN specific exact deletion procedures for that specific car so that you're doing the deletion process right. Um, do you want to know, Ted and Sarah, what the number one thing is that dealers who have their own process often forget to delete out of the car? Okay,
Yes.
I will tell you, but at the very end of the show, as an incentive for folks to stay tuned. So ask me again at the end of this recording.
So, Ted and Sarah, here's a challenge, right? So, in most cases, in house processes are inconsistent, they're untrackable, and they offer no proof of completion. If it's not measurable, it's not really a process. And we all know that what gets measured gets done. So, Privacy for Cars, we provide a repeatable, audible process that tracks and that takes an average again of 90 seconds or less per vehicle. We offer 99.9% accuracy of our process. We back it with a $1 million warranty. And that way you're not just saying take our word for it. And then we generate that certificate to show who cleared the data, when, and from what exact vehicle. This means that dealerships can prove they've done the work, they can instill that all important customer trust, and they can protect their reputation, all while improving their operational efficiency.
Yeah, and to piggyback on Waverly, what you're saying, the question is, don't dealerships have a process like this in place? And yes, some of them may have a manual process, but in most cases, that manual process has proven ineffective. For example, the unfortunate reality is that today, 4 out of 5 pre owned cars for sale are resold with the prior customer's
Oh,
personal information still on it. 4 out of 5 cars are resold with the prior customer's data on it. That is a big miss. So, why is that happening? Part of the reason is because data deletion methods differ across all different types of makes, models, years, infotainment systems, what have you. There is no one size fits all, Ted and Sarah. There is no control alt delete button on a car like a computer. So that's why it's super important to get the VIN specific data deletion method so that your staff can actually do all of the proper steps and make sure they don't miss anything. And then when we're marketing that, which is what the point of this talk is about, you
right.
cannot charge a customer or market a service if you are not confident in it. If your process is inconsistent, you cannot charge and market for that. So that is why it is so important to make sure you're doing this process right, and why customers of Privacy for Cars have that confidence and that certificate of deletion to prove that they've done the data deletion well and correctly.
And Mary, you mentioned that dealers are using privacy as a marketing differentiator also. Can you give us some real examples of how they're going about doing that?
Yeah, absolutely. I love to love on our customers, so I'm so excited that you asked this. Okay, first I want to talk about Premier Honda. They are located in one of my favorite cities, New Orleans.
Okay.
So if you go on their website, which is Premier Honda, so Premier Honda, you can go there and look right on their homepage. They have this huge web banner that says, "Trading or selling your car? Don't trade away your personal data too. Come in for our data deletion service with certificate proof. Your privacy matters to us." So I really love that they are putting this right front and center. When a customer comes to their website, they can see this differentiator right on the homepage. But we also have customers that are showcasing privacy on their websites in other ways. So, Waverly, do you want to talk about how other dealers are using it?
Yeah, exactly. So, for example, Classic Chevrolet, the world's largest Chevy dealership located right here in my home state of Texas, they put our VIN specific certificates of deletion badges right on their pre owned inventory listing pages on their website. Now,
Mhm.
this way, customers can see that the cars for sale have been cleared. They're putting these badges up. Putting these badges up is 100% an automated process. It's kind of magical. So when your staff finishes clearing that car, we automatically send a signal to your website to display that VIN-specific web badge linked to the data deletion certificate on the vehicle detail page, which makes it super simple. So again, if you go to Classic Chevrolet's website, you go to their pre-owned inventory, you'll find an auto-cleared badge, and when you click on it, you'll see exactly what we're talking about, that VIN-specific certificate of data deletion. So again, really having the certificate of deletion visible on a dealer's website is a real big differentiator. So when buyers comparison shop, they see the data deletion of web certificates and they think, wow, other dealerships I'm shopping at don't offer this. So seeing that deletion certificate right on their website does separate them apart and provides that differentiation that we're talking about.
Yeah, and I want to share one more story too. It's not just about showing it on your website, it's also incorporating privacy into your brand's customer promise. So, one of my favorite examples is a customer, Pine Belt Automotive in New Jersey, where they have trained their showroom staff and their shop staff on vehicle privacy and how to have these great conversations. And we have heard from our customer that they have so many customers come back into the store and say, thank you for your due diligence because I had no idea how much personal data was left in my car. And for the dealerships that don't do this, they're putting me at risk. So, offering data deletion services to customers is a benefit that's tangible, it's real, and it's an actual benefit to the customer. It's not just like a talking point, but something they can really see, feel, and feel thankful for. So that's why it's important for dealers to offer this as a brand differentiator because not all dealerships are doing it.
And so when we onboard a new customer or a new dealership, we offer all sorts of support to help our dealers market this, including, staff training on how to talk about privacy, how to use the app, although it's very easy and super intuitive. We have custom brochures. We can do roll-up banners. We've got web support. Everything from those 100% automated vehicle detail page badges to custom website banners. I mean, you name it, right? But last but not least, we'll put your dealership on our list of Privacy Care dealerships page. So when hundreds of thousands of people come to Privacy4Cars vehicle privacy report.com looking for help with their car's privacy and they want to trade in or buy a car, they can easily find you as their local Privacy Care dealer. Again, the idea is to really make privacy part of the customer promise. That's what's going to build trust and set you apart from the competition.
Okay, it makes a lot of sense. Easy to understand. Follow up, Waverly. How are dealerships pricing this, and when they're using it as part of a marketing campaign?
Yeah, great question, Ted. Some dealerships actually offer it for free just to capture more trades.
Sure.
Think of it like a tire rotation or a free multi-point inspection. It really just gets people in the door. Then you have others that do charge a fee during trade-ins, during lease returns, at reconditioning, and for total losses for those that have a body shop. They're still seeing anywhere between 4 to 10x ROI when they do charge for the service. And then, not to mention, on the service loaners, we do see stores charging a nominal fee of anywhere between maybe $5 or $10 for those vehicles as well. It really just depends on each individual dealership.
And I want to just add to that when you are marketing this, remember it's not a data deletion service and you're just charging people to press a few buttons in the car. What you're doing is you're safeguarding customers' personal data, backing it with certificate, and that's what really resonates with your customers. So it's a service that they want that provides them extra peace of mind.
Well, and Mary, that actually brings up another point for a lot of dealerships. So, a lot of stores have a fixed operations department or some kind of fleet involved with servicing and maintaining vehicles. So, is this just a retail only strategy for like used cars, or does it also apply in fixed ops and fleet?
Yeah, great question, Sarah. It actually absolutely applies in both, right? In fixed ops, we're seeing stores promote the data deletion for service loaners and for total loss vehicles for those, again, that have body shops. For the fleet, especially when you think about rental vehicles or courtesy vehicles, it's just an absolute no-brainer. Those vehicles swap hands constantly, day in and day out, right? So it's not just retail trade-ins. This can be really a cross-departmental profit center for the organization.
Okay, makes sense. All right. Guys, I did forget, Mary, we're nearing the end. So come back to what we talked about earlier. Tell Sarah and I, what is the number one thing that dealers often forget to delete?
So thanks for everyone for staying tuned in. The number one thing that dealers that don't have a process in place, don't use Privacy for Cars, often forget to delete is the garage door code opener. This is so often overlooked. And I really want you to think about this, Ted and Sarah. Imagine somebody's got access to that car. They didn't delete any of the data off of it. They just type in go home. Now you're driving to somebody's house and you can pop open someone's garage. So just imagine the surprise that something like that would cause. And let's definitely not have that happen. So let's offer data deletion services that include the garage door opener.
All right, that's a big one. All right, so if our audience watching today, you've got dealers, general managers, reconditioning, used car managers, fixed ops directors. If they're interested in Privacy for Cars and how this would work for their dealership or their rooftops, what should they do next?
Simply contact me directly, Ted, at Waverly at privacy4cars.com. Or we can get a dealer. I mean, we can get a dealership set up in little as just one business day, so it happens very quick. Or if they want to learn more, they can simply visit privacy4cars.com/dealers. But as a final reminder, Ted and Sarah, I wanted to make three really big points, which is number one, Privacy for Cars is a process that takes on average 90 seconds in most cases, as I mentioned. It's 99% accuracy and it's backed by that $1 million warranty. And again, it gives your dealership that third-party validation. Our certificates of deletion really instill that customer trust and enables the dealerships to really market our service.
Right. And then as soon as you're done giving Waverly a call, put your marketing team in touch with me and we will take it from there.
All right. Sarah, great message here. And Sarah, really relevant for what's going on right now in the industry.
It is, Ted. Privacy is an important component for not just the dealership, but their customers as well. So a very timely topic and very important.
All right. Waverly and Mary, a lot more to come. I'd like to invite you back, okay? And come back and see us on our next show. And let's talk a little bit more how this is working for customers, consumers, dealers, and fascinating stuff. And you're the only ones in this realm. So congratulations to you on identifying it, and much success to both of you. Waverly Bird, everybody, and Mary Marwig there with Privacy for Cars. Visit them on the web, privacy4cars.com/dealers. You see Waverly's email down below in the ticker. Reach out to Waverly and Mary for more information. On behalf of the Roundtable, Waverly and Mary, thank you for all you do for the industry.
Thank you, Ted and Sarah.
Thanks, Ted. Thanks, Sarah. Appreciate your time.
Privacy for Cars, everybody, here with us today at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.